is Njure. I am an interior designer by profession, by vocation also. I specialized in CAD. CAD is computer aided design. So that means I use softwares to draw interiors. And the softwares I use is ArchiCAD and SketchUp mostly. My first option was definitely architecture, lakini hawakunichukua, sijui kwa nini. Lakini unajua ni kidogo tu hivi ningechukuliwa, lakini sijui kwa nini kunichukua. But let's not dwell. Yeah, we moved on. we moved on. But sijui kwa nini kunichagua, but we moved on, you know. But so my second option was interior design. I had a passion for interior design for a very long time, but I didn't start with interior design. Initially, I was doing finance. Then I got a job letter telling me to go to Egerton University. I dropped out of finance. I went to do my interior design all the way to Njure. So I specialized. My main interest was interior design. It had fashion and interior, but I really didn't like fashion because so my focus was interior design. So that's what I really specialized in. And during my third year, we used to go for attachment. So I went to this amazing interior design firm that nurtured and guided me into CAD. So eventually that's where my main interest and my main focus was at. So I just continued with that. So fast forward to my final year, finished school, we started a thing with my former classmate who happened to be a friend of mine at that time, and we decided to do interior design, mainly CAD. It didn't pay out really well at that time because yes, first we were young, the market was mainly dominated by men. It was a male dominated kind of place, and it's older men, so it became a bit hard for us to penetrate. So we got frustrated a lot by clients, by contractors, by architects, late payment, no payment at all after work done. So eventually we just decided to go separate ways, get jobs. So I got employed. I started doing real estate. I was a digital strategist at that time. So design interiors. So my works have been in residentials and a bit of commercial, that's office spaces and hotels. What we do is we get plans or drawings from architects, and now we bring life into it, we spice it up. That's generally just our job, which is amazing and fantastic. So we focus on paint works, design work, sailing works, sorry, that's what you do when you do some designs, that's us. Flooring, furniture arrangement, and cabinetry work. So we also design that. It's not a bow worker. It has to come from somewhere, and we like to see cabinetry work, woodwork. But see, when you're about to make design, coming in a cut list. It's a lot of work, you know. If I get technical with this, napoteza watu. But generally, it's something that I enjoy to do. A restaurant in ChickenIn, it was more of a landscape design kind of thing than interiors, but I loved it because I learned so much in it, and it involved so many parties that made me grow in a certain way that, you know, I wasn't boxed into just things that I was used to. I got a very different experience. I met so many people doing it, and in meeting new people, I learned so much. That was my best experience because that's the one project I learned most. And the other one was a beach house in Malindi because my client let me do a lot of my works. She didn't confine me to doing what she wants. Like, you go all out, decide on what you want, do unconventional designs, contemporary, whatever you feel like is gonna fit this, do whatever. That was an amazing job. That was one of my best. Yeah, so thinking about it, those are the two main ones, and they're the current ones. So they're just my mind. So it's attached to my best experience. They're both of them. So worst experience is when I went all the way to Eldoret, took measurements, came back to Nairobi, did a very fantastic drawing for a specific hotel. I won't even mention that name, but yes, did a drawing. Wanajijua tu, mnajijua pali mko na kama tutataja tunaweza andika tu hapa chini. But yeah, I went all the way to Eldoret. I did the measurements, which took a very, very long time. It was a very tasking job. Came back to Nairobi, did the design, presented the whole design, gave them the whole idea. And this one was I was so excited about it that I didn't follow the right protocols and the right channels, like signing contracts and such things. And I was new, I was just fresh, so it's like anything goes. So yeah, I presented to them, gave them the drawings, like, yeah, we'll pay you. 2 years later, nangoja bado namba pesa nini. But yeah, they didn't pay me. They frustrated me for the longest time. It was a very big job, and they stole my idea because the person who connected me to them eventually reached out. It's like, hey, we saw the designs, they were nice, the hotel is nice, it looks very nice, it's amazing. But that was 2 years ago. Never been paid. So that was a very bad experience, because following them up for payment, being taken around in circles, yeah. Designers' worst nightmare. I feel like all designers have gone through this. Then it was more difficult. It was more difficult to penetrate as a woman. But now guys are more receptive to it because there are so many other women in it. So yeah, we kind of pushed that barrier. Yeah, hiyo lazima. Wow, hiyo ni lazima. Hiyo, yeah, it happens a lot. Sometimes it's even clients, the architects, everyone around. So you, as a woman, you need to have your own principles, because yeah, the thing with this is once you lose it kidogo, it doesn't just, you don't lose it overnight. It's, you decide to bend it kidogo, then it's eroded within time. So you need to have your own side. Have something that centers you, and if it's, your job is good, then stick to it. People are going to through that, and if that's what's driving them, you will get the job. Yeah, so lakini mtu ana appreciate the value of your work is gonna take you for what you're doing, and that's also one thing I've learned. Yeah, so you need to be also good at what you do. Ugawi urajai. But when you, for the first meeting, you have to meet the client, have a discussion kidogo, utasoma mtu. Negote, it's a throw this one, it's not even worth it. So you can tell. But also some clients will come, do that nonsense, but when it comes to business, tonanyo we switch. Like, so you quotation. Madam, usipunguza. Unajua kuna wale yenyewe waliko, man is a man. They'll shoot their shots. Ni kukutest, wanna test waters. So you also have to be sharp. So I think also when we started, it was frustrating for us because we're still young. Like, sai tunaenda na rie. See yourself like unajua na maisha. You know what I mean? Like, you're more principled, you're more woke, you know, you value your job, your brand of your name. Self-preservation is important here, so it's good. You need to have that. Yeah. My advice to people who are thinking of doing this business or starting out is it's very important to have contracts. It's very important, but guys get a bit touchy when you start mentioning contracts in there. Why? So that I've learned. But now the good thing is you'll know the people who are serious with your work, and guys who are serious with your work are going to pay you according to the value that you bring in the table. So if you bring up stories or contracts and this guy bails, it means they weren't serious to begin with. And sometimes you lose some, you get some. Wakienda chaende. So but say is time corona si lazima wakienda mfuate. Akienda tu. But I'm just saying in future just have, because this thing for payment is a problem to most designers. So I think it's good to draft your own contract and hold someone to what you agree and what they promise. And also learn your clients. Take time to get to know what they like before you design anything. Just get to know what the taste is like, so that you can incorporate in your drawing. Because a happy client, of course, is the first meeting. That's the most important meeting, because you assess them, you assess their taste, you become familiar with the space, so it's easier for you to get concepts when you see the space. The people that we mostly work with are architects and engineers and that, but mostly architects and graphic designers. But also you have to be very conversant with what graphic designers do. That is mostly Illustrator and Photoshop, because you have to incorporate a bit of that sometimes in your designs. And it's very good to have your own people, and in your own people I mean your own funding. For flooring, it could be wooden flooring, ceramic tiles, or your painters, your guys who are going to do your woodworks. Because most of the times, if you do a good job when you've designed, the client is going to come back and ask for referrals. Please refer a good painter for me, refer this. And when you do, it doesn't reflect badly on the person, but the person who's referred them to. So it's very important. But okay, also you get clients who want you to be in charge of the quality control. So everything that's going to be bought, it has to go through, which this is good and bad at the same time. Good because of course you paid more, bad because you don't have control over the foodies all the time, because you know how foodies get paid. It's a bit sketchy sometimes. So it's actually a lot of work to supervise the work that's going to be done, especially if it's a big project. It's a lot of work. So being a Lone Ranger, to be very honest, this is like kind of biting off more than you can chew. So I would say if you get to this, be very honest with your client. Be like, okay, I can do this, but this is the extent I would go. If I go further, it's going to be so those are the people we mostly work with. And some clients will come to you and ask you for quality control, like if you can supervise the job for it to come the way the drawing looks like. So it needs to be as perfect as it was at the drawing. The reason why it is good for you to have that network of people, that network of fundis, is because most clients will come to you and ask you if you can see through the job, that's supervise the job. If it's a small job, like you're doing a you're doing a residential. It's just a house. It's not the whole apartment. It's easier for you to manage, to supervise. But if it's something so big, like a big hotel or an office space that's massive, then be honest with the client. Because as a lone ranger, it's hard for you to do the supervision because fundis are very sketchy, and you need to know the scope of your ability. And if you're honest with your client, they'll appreciate it, as opposed to taking it just for money. Then 3 months later, it's a bad job. They have to redo it. You burn your bridges, you burn your connections. No one trusts you, and it goes like wildfire. Yeah, umeharibu mambo tu hapo. So it's good to bite off what you can chew. So the 3 things that you should know from a CAD specialist is basically renders. I don't know if many people know what renders are, but the photos that you get after designing. So renders, cut list are usually the materials you're going to use in a kitchen. For instance, the board. So when you go to PG Bison or Team Sales or wherever you're getting your materials from, it's good to have your cut list, because you don't buy excess material, which is going to cost you more. So you go with the exact number of materials you need. And the other one is furniture arrangement. Yeah, so basically we just don't draw the house as it is. We also show you how your furniture is going to be arranged to make it simpler for the client. So if you need to reach me, my name is Njure on Instagram, and Njure still on Twitter. kcinjure@gmail.com. I think that's easier. It's easier for me to read because I always check my emails. So yeah, kcinjure, Kilo Charlie November Julie. My parting shot is, anyone who wants to be a freelancer or an entrepreneur in this, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard, but you're going to get better with the projects that come by. You're going to be unstoppable, and you will value your work as time goes by. So yeah, don't fret, you'll be fine. So Egerton ni Egerton. I said what I said, is Egerton. Anyway, what do you end? Ulikonaita hivyo ukikuwa thick subs tulikonaita Egerton. If anything tulikonaita Ega. Sorry boss. Anyway, ukiita tetika tu wewe. Kwani anyway, so tumeshaanza. Ndio kwa tukatio. Tumeshaanza. Naitwa Ngo. My name is Charity Njure, but your Charity is silent.